From all of us here at speedcafe.com, a very big Merry Christmas to all of our readers and viewers and to your families. We hope you have a fantastic day. We're delighted to be joined for this edition of the KTM Summer Grill by Matt Stone, team boss, and his new signing online for this conversation as well, Cameron Hill. We welcome you both. Can we start with a little bit of what was under the tree? Some shiny new race cars, things like that. What are we?
Yeah, a couple of Gen 3 Camaros, all wrapped up nicely in bubble wrap. So
very good. And for you, Cam, as we go to you, I mean, just getting this opportunity's got to be an early present, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely in the festive spirit. I've got my Christmassy shorts on for the occasion. But no, it's definitely a very good Christmas for me this year with some, really exciting things on the horizon.
Get a report card from you on the year that was 2022. Was there some positives, some fruit that you can take in the next year? How tough, how good?
Yeah, absolutely. Like we started off the year on a bit of a run, which we were pretty happy with. Probably got a little bit caught up in it, a little bit ahead of ourselves. And then, sort of what started off as a bit of a bad run ended up in a lot of damage over the course of the mid-season, and the whole team sort of on the back foot, just trying to catch up and get back onto a roll. And we sort of struggled with that through the mid part of the season, and showed a little bit of promise in speed at the final round, and a couple of shootouts there, and nearly had 2 cars in the shootout. I think missed out by a couple of thousandths. But unfortunately, those races were also plagued with a few incidents. So all in all, the year was a good learning year for the team, with good building year. We've been happy with a lot of parts of it, but we've sort of been a lot of on-track stuff and a lot of unnecessarily little things going wrong, which hampered our results.
And all the while, you've got the next phase of the sport looming, the want to get your teeth into building new cars. I know Jimmy's pretty excited about getting to work on some new cars. How much of a factor was that in the year as well?
Yeah, certainly in the last couple of months of the year, it's been a sort of a balancing act, where we're trying to put our best foot forward on track, but at the same time, we've been really pushing for this Gen 3 and looking forward to it for some time. So, we wanted to put a lot of effort and focus into next year. So it's been quite a balance of not skimping here, but making sure that we're prepared there. So, we're pretty happy with where we're going with the Gen 3 thing. We think it's going to be a good thing. The look and feel of them is fantastic, and we're really wanting to get out there and start testing them in January.
Cam, what about for you? When did this opportunity first really start to kind of tickle along from a conversational standpoint? I mean, I saw you at the Bathurst 6 Hour. You're doing great things with your own team. You've had a great year of balance. But when did this mega opportunity start to shift into gear?
Yeah, so obviously I had kind of made it my goal to push towards a full-time drive in 2023, and that's why I came to do Super 2 this year. And sort of early in the piece, I think I picked the phone up and harassed Matt a few times trying to get a co-drive, and it just so happened that I ended up getting the opportunity with Premier, which was really cool. But just kept having the dialogue with Matt throughout the year, and then sort of post Bathurst, he said, we think you're the right guy for the job. And I was a little bit taken aback, to be honest. I sort of thought, I was looking down the barrel of another year in Super 2, and so to have it all sort of come together there around Bathurst was pretty special.
There's some good talent in Super 2 this year to potentially consider within the scope of who you would bring in. What were the things that got you over the line with Cam? What?
It was an interesting process, because obviously there is some good talent in Super 2, and once we sort of shifted mindset that we were going to, go back to what was our traditional sort of path and invest in another rookie, Super 2 was where we were looking quite heavily. I think the things that really turned me for Cam was, this car next year is different, and he's driven a lot of different things. The Carrera Cup the year before, the Super 2 this year. And also, the year that we've had, as I mentioned before, we've had a lot of on-track incidences and a lot of things that, just have put the team on the back foot. We're always fixing cars. We're not fine-tuning them. I think looking at the scope of what Cam's raced over his career and the way in which he's done it, he's always put really good results on the table, and quite often, brought back a pretty straight car. And, that was definitely a factor that, we thought, that's what we need to be working on these cars next year, is for them to come back after every race still rolling. Obviously, it's a racetrack, things happen, but certainly that was a key factor in us looking into it all.
Where are you at in your own growth as a team owner, as someone who, as your family's done so successfully in working with people in a racing environment and trying to get the best out of them and get your team into the same sort of position that we may have been used to seeing SBR in the early to mid 2000s? What have you learned, and how are you tracking on that side?
Yeah, look, it's all a learning, it's all a building exercise, and this day and age is obviously quite different, and it poses its challenges. The pandemic being one, but certainly I feel like we're growing, and our goal is every year to do better than the year before. But our destination is the important thing. We're not in a rush. We will get there organically, but our destination is to win a championship, or not just one, much like the SBR of old. And, we're prepared to put in the time, put in the work to get there, because we know we will get there, and we're building a team of, committed and passionate people, and building up some drivers and everything that we need for the pieces, so that in a year or 2 or 3, we can have a red-hot go at taking out the big cup.
It's been a great charter of yours, isn't it? I mean, it's not unlike in some respects what SBR used to do in giving youth an opportunity, and I know that comes with challenges, with bills at times and so on, but to give them that chance has been a big part of what you've done here, isn't it?
Absolutely, and I think because for a long time, and I'm not as young as I was, but being one of the younger team owners in the sport, and coming up through always being one of the younger guys in whatever role I was doing, it's made me really appreciate the value in training people. And we're training a lot of people within our team, and young drivers. I think they deserve an opportunity, and we like to be the team that can give it to them.
Cam, that was a nice endorsement there, and just a couple of answers ago from Matt, and to be thought of that way by the MSR team. What do you think this new car is gonna do for you? Do you feel like it will suit you?
Well, I think the great thing is about coming in for me as a rookie next year with the introduction of Gen 3 is it's just a clean slate for all the drivers and teams. So it's the best or the biggest opportunity for me to come in on a level playing field, and obviously try and get on top of the car, potentially quicker than some of the other guys. I've had the amazing opportunity to drive a lot of different race cars in my career so far, and I've had to be quite adaptable. So I sort of think that I'll have a good opportunity to get on top of it, and maybe sneak past a few of the guys who've got some old habits ingrained.
That's a great comment that you make, and perhaps an asset that some may not have necessarily thought about. Do you dare sort of set yourself a goal? What is your objective going into 23?
I mean, look, I have to be realistic. I'm going up against, Australia's very best and probably the world's best touring car drivers. So I'm going to come in and obviously learn as much as I can, and just try to, develop my skill set and my knowledge. But I'd be lying if I didn't say I want to compete and get results. And I really hope that after the first few rounds we sort of hit our stride and we start scoring top 10s. I feel like a top 15 result in the championship for any rookie would be a good thing. So that's what I'd be striving for.
As I immediately expected when I knew you were coming on this edition of the Summer Grill, your professional racing driver, that's the little of Cam Hill that I've gotten to know so far. But has this sunk in, this opportunity? How excited were you? And when you got that okay, when you got that nod?
Yeah, I have to pinch myself sometimes to really think that I'm going to be racing in the supercars full time. It's the stuff that so many young kids dream of doing. I remember watching Bathurst on the VHS tapes that Dad would go and record them all, and I'd sit there and watch it all. And part of you thinks, I can do this one day, but then as you get into your career, you realize that there's only 25 guys that get the opportunity to do this. So I feel pretty lucky to have this opportunity now. I'm certainly going to grab it with both hands.
We're excited for you, mate, that you'll get the shot at this. Gen 3 means a lot of work. We're chatting on Christmas Day for this edition. January is going to be busy for you guys, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Like we sort of, we'd allocated a lot of time and resources after Bathurst to get a head start. But, just the scope of the project and the timing of everything, we were able to make some good progress, but obviously there's still a large chunk of the puzzle that's still coming in the doors at MSR. So, we're happy with our progress now. We're going to push hard and then shut down for Christmas and have some, just have some turkey and a few prawns and then come back in January and probably won't see much of January, and then it'll just be February and hopefully the cars will be done. So we're preparing for a very big month of January to really get this underway. But at the moment we're happy with our progress and happy with the deadlines and the scope that we've got going on.
And Campbell, that mean that you'll be, getting immersed in things as you build here, and how important will that investment of time be in the lead up?
Yeah, definitely. When we're getting close to, obviously, the cars coming together, I definitely want to be in and amongst that, ingrain myself, with the team in those sort of final stages. Obviously, that's when, my own involvement was probably going to be quite important. A lot of the ergonomics will be really important, and I'm not going to be much use when they're bolting all the big parts in. So we'll let them get the bulk of the work done, and then when we're getting a little bit closer to the cars coming together, I'll definitely be as involved as I can be, and maybe just moral support for the team more than anything. I know that they're going to be putting in some big hours to get these cars together, but I think it will really be worth it. They're going to look amazing, and it's going to be great to see them all hit the track at Newcastle.
I know under no illusions, Cam. I mean, you talked about Super 2 there before, and then Premiere and so on. It's given you a window into the level of competition in this game. What are you expecting in that regard? They play for keeps, don't they?
Yeah, 100%. Racing in the Bathurst 1000 was an awesome experience, to race against the guys you watch all the time on the TV and just see, I guess, the level that they're all at, it's extremely high. But the other really promising thing, as the doorbell goes off, is that I didn't feel out of place. When I was out there, I was running with some of the guys who race full time, and I was holding my own, and I sort of came into the weekend, with the expectation, or the goal of doing my job and making sure I handed the car back to Chris in the best position we could. And it really just sparked a fire in me. I sort of feel like if I, when I get the chance to come back and, be the lead driver, I'm pretty confident that I'll be able to lift and rub doors with the very best of the sport.
We wish you well on that mission. Matt, can we come to you for a final word as we go into Gen 3? Much has been said in relation to, this new chapter. The race fan in many of us wants it and perhaps even expects it to create a bit of variety because of the uncertainty in the early phase. Does that present MSR with a really good opportunity here, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And we've been excited about the Gen 3 program and the concept of it, and that was part of the reason we decided to up to 2 cars years ago, was anticipation of getting to this point where, we're not a large manufacturing and design team, and we've purposely not built our business that way because we've been leaning towards now that it's a control spec. Everyone's got the same stuff. We don't need to be designing new widgets every week or trying to do some kind of deal there. We just got to look at what we've got, the same as everyone else, even playing field, and just do the best job we can with it. It sort of takes away some of the excuses that you often hear of, if I had that or if he had that, and it means we can just focus on what we want to do and what we like doing, which is going racing, and see if we can make the most of it.
We know there's been some hard knocks as an emerging race team along the way. So that's probably been tough at times. Well done for giving youngsters in the team and in the front line of the team an opportunity. We wish you both, as we, thank you for joining us today, the very best for 2023.
No, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
There they are, Cam Hill and Matt Stone. It's going to be a cracking year. Merry Christmas to all of you watching the KTM Summer Grill here at Speedcafe.com, and we will be back on Boxing Day with another very special guest from the world of motorsport. As a part of this year's Summer Grill, our great partner in KTM each week has a special prize pack to give away, which includes a stool, a stubby holder, and a KTM hat. Very cool additions for your man cave, your garage, or just for around the barbecue. To enter, all you've got to do is head to speedcafe.com or click on the link description below, and you could be in the running. And check out, of course, tomorrow's next edition of the KTM Summer Grill right here at speedcafe.com.